7 months pregnant woman is shoved off a 5-story balcony on a freezing night, only to crash onto the car of the most feared crime boss in the city, a man who instantly realizes it wasn't an accident and decides that whoever pushed her has just made the worst mistake of their life. Hey besties, grab your tea, silence the group chat, and let the drama unfold. Welcome to OppaTolani Besties Folktales, where Nigerian hearts meet Korean dreams. Now, I have a challenge. My stepmother swore I could never reach 1,000 besties. Please, I beg you, subscribe right now and let's prove her wrong together. Don't forget to like the video and tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? Grace stood in the kitchen, holding a plate she had already washed. Her hands were still, but her mind was not. She could hear Toby moving behind her. The sound of his footsteps made her chest feel tight. She was tired, not just from the pregnancy, not just from the long days. She was tired of him. Grace, Toby said. She did not turn. Yes. You've been quiet. I'm fine. He laughed, but there was no joy in it. You are always fine. Grace placed the plate down. Slowly, carefully. She did not want to make any mistake. Even small things could start a problem. I want to leave, she said. The words came out soft, but they felt heavy. Silence. For a moment, Toby said nothing. Then she heard him step closer. Leave, he asked. Yes. He moved in front of her now. She could not avoid his face anymore. His eyes were cold. You think you can just go? Grace swallowed. I can't stay here anymore. His jaw tightened. And go where? He asked. She did not answer. That made him angrier. You have no one here, he said. No family. No friends. Nothing. Grace placed a hand on her belly. I have my child. Toby looked at her hand, then back at her face. That child is mine, he said. Grace shook her head. No. That one word changed everything. Toby's face went still. Too still. Grace knew that look. It was the look he had before he did something bad. She took a small step back. Toby, she said. He stepped forward. You think you can take my child and walk away? It's not like that. You think you can live without me? Grace's back touched the railing. There was nowhere else to go. I just want peace, she said. You are nothing without me, Toby said. Her heart was beating fast now. She looked at his hands. They were already lifting. Toby, please. For a second, she hoped he would stop. He did not. His hands hit her shoulders. One push. Strong. Cold. Final. Grace felt her body move back. Her feet lost balance. Her hands reached out, but there was nothing to hold. Her eyes widened. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. Her hand went to her stomach. My baby. Then she was falling. Everything moved too fast. The world flipped. Her heart pounded in her ears. One thought stayed in her mind. I can't die. The sound was loud. Metal bent. Glass cracked. Pain shot through Grace's body, but it did not last long. Everything around her went quiet. She could not move. She could not open her eyes. But she was not gone. Her chest rose slowly. Then again. Alive. Min was inside his car when it happened. 1 second, everything was normal. Next, something crashed onto the front of his car. The force shook the vehicle. His driver shouted, Sir. Min did not answer. He had already opened the door. He stepped out and walked to the front. Then he stopped. A woman lay across the hood. Her body was still. Her head turned to the side. Blood ran down her face. Her hand rested on her stomach. Min's eyes stayed on that detail. Pregnant. For a brief second, no one moved. Then his men rushed forward. Check the area. Look up. Watch the building. They spoke fast, alert, ready for danger. Min did not look at them. He looked up. A man stood on a balcony. Looking down. Their eyes met. The man did not run. He did not shout. He just watched. Min held his gaze for a moment. Then he looked away. Call the doctor, Min said. His voice was calm. Now. One of his men moved quickly. Min stepped closer to the car. He studied the woman again. She was breathing. Slow but steady. Careful, he said. Do not move her badly. They worked with care, lifting her gently. Min watched every movement. His jaw was tight. Sir, the driver said. Should we call the police? Min shook his head once. No. That answer ended the question. The woman was placed into another car. Min turned back to his own. The front was destroyed. He looked at it for a second. Then he looked up again at the balcony. The man was gone. Min reached into his pocket and brought out his phone. He made one call. Find him, he said. He ended it. Then he made another. Prepare a private room, he said. She needs care. He paused. And make sure the baby is safe. He ended the call. Min walked to the car where the woman had been placed. He stood beside the door for a moment. He looked at her face again. She looked young. Tired. Like someone who had been fighting for a long time. He spoke quietly. You are not dying. No one replied. The door closed. The car drove off. Min stayed where he was for a few seconds. Still. Thinking. Then he turned and got into another car. Move, he said. As the car pulled away, his eyes did not soften. They grew colder. Somewhere above, a man had made a choice. Min had made his too. Min's car moved fast. Grace lay in the back seat, still and quiet. Her breathing was weak, but steady. One of Min's men kept watching her closely. Stay with us, he said under his breath. Grace did not respond. Min sat in front, silent. His phone rested in his hand. Sir, the driver said, we are close. Min gave a small nod. Everything is ready, he asked. Yes. The car stopped. The door opened. Grace was carried inside quickly. Light. That was the first thing Grace noticed. Not bright. Just clean. Her eyes opened slowly. Her body felt heavy. Every part of her hurt. She tried to move. Pain stopped her. Don't move, a calm voice said. Grace turned her head slightly. A woman in medical clothes stood beside her. You are safe, the woman said. Grace blinked. Her lips moved, but no sound came out at first. My baby. The doctor gave a small nod. Your baby is alive, she said. Strong. Grace's eyes filled with tears. Her hand moved slowly to her stomach. Still there. Still real. She let out a weak breath. The door opened. Grace looked up. Min walked in. He wore simple clothes now. No jacket. His sleeves rolled up. He stopped near the bed. For a moment, he said nothing. Grace looked at him. You, she whispered. Min nodded once. You landed on my car. Grace closed her eyes briefly. I'm sorry. Min's face did not change. You were pushed, he said. Grace looked away. Silence filled the room. Min stepped closer. What is your name? He asked. Grace hesitated. Then she spoke. Grace. Min nodded. Min. Another silence. Do you have family here? He asked. Grace shook her head. No. Friends. No. Min watched her for a moment. Then he spoke again. You will stay here, he said. Until you are strong. Grace frowned slightly. I don't know you. That is fine, Min said. He turned to leave. Grace spoke again. That man. Min stopped. He did not turn back yet. What is he to you? He asked. Grace's lips pressed together. She said nothing, but her silence was enough. Min turned his head slightly. I understand, he said. He walked out. In the hallway, Min took out his phone again. Report, he said. A voice answered from the other side. We found him. Min's eyes stayed calm. Good. He paused. Do it clean, he added. He ended the call. Back in the room, Grace lay still. Her hand rested on her stomach. Her mind was not clear, but one thing stayed strong. She was alive. Her baby was alive. And for the first time in a long time. She was not alone. She did not understand why. She did not understand who Min really was. But she knew one thing. Her life had changed. And it would not go back to the way it was. Her life had changed. Grace lay still on the bed, staring at the ceiling. The room was quiet. No shouting. No fear. No footsteps behind her. It felt strange. She did not trust it yet. Her hand stayed on her stomach. My baby, she whispered. A small movement answered her. She closed her eyes. Tears slipped out. Later, the door opened again. The doctor walked in first, checking her pulse, her breathing. You are getting better, she said. But you need rest. Grace nodded slowly. Then Min entered. He stood at the same spot as before. Not too close. Not too far. Grace looked at him. You are still here, she said. Min gave a small nod. Yes. Silence followed. Then Grace spoke again. Why are you helping me? Min did not answer right away. He seemed to think about it. You fell on my car, he said at last. Grace almost smiled, but the pain stopped her. That's not a real answer. Min looked at her. No, he said. It is not. Another pause. Then he added, you had no one. Grace's face changed slightly. She looked away. Those words hit deeper than she expected. No one, she repeated quietly. Min watched her. You said it yourself, he said. Grace swallowed. I didn't think it would sound like that, she said. It is the truth, Min replied. The room felt heavier now. Grace pulled the blanket slightly. I was going to leave, she said. Min stayed silent. I had a plan, she continued. Not a good one. But it was something. Her voice shook a little. I just wanted to be free. Min stepped a little closer. And now, he asked. Grace took a slow breath. I don't know. That was the most honest answer she had. Min reached into his pocket and brought out his phone. He looked at it for a second, then spoke. The man, he said, he will not touch you again. Grace looked up quickly. What do you mean? Min met her eyes. I am handling it. Grace's heart beat faster. She remembered those same words before. I don't want trouble, she said. You already had trouble, Min replied. His voice was calm but firm. This is the end of it. Grace studied his face. There was no doubt in him. No fear. That scared her a little. But it also made her feel safe. Min turned to leave again. At the door, he stopped. If you need anything, he said, ask. Grace hesitated. Then she spoke. Min. He paused. Thank you, she said. He did not turn back. But he gave a small nod. Then he walked out. Grace lay back slowly. The room was quiet again. But this time it did not feel empty. She still had no family. No friends. No place to go. But something had changed. Someone had chosen to stay. And for now, that was enough. Grace held on to that thought as the days passed. She began to sit up without help. She could take a few steps now, slowly, carefully. The pain was still there, but it was not as sharp. No one rushed her. No one shouted. Each day felt quiet. Safe. One morning, Grace decided to walk a little farther. Step by step, she moved through the hallway. Her hand touched the wall for balance. She did not want to stay in bed all day. She needed to feel like herself again. As she turned a corner, she saw a table. On it, there was a photo. Grace stopped. She looked at it. A younger Min stood in the picture. He was smiling. It was not the small smile she had seen before. This one was real. Beside him was a woman. She looked happy. In Min's arms was a baby. Grace stared at the photo for a long moment. Something about it felt warm. Then, they are gone. Grace turned quickly. Min stood behind her. His face was calm, but his eyes were not. I'm sorry, Grace said softly. Min walked closer. He looked at the photo. My wife, he said. He pointed slightly. And my daughter. Grace did not speak. She waited. They were killed, Min said. His voice did not shake. But it felt heavy. A long time ago. Grace felt her chest tighten. Why? She asked quietly. Min did not answer right away. Then he said, because of me. That was all. No long story. No details. But it was enough to understand. Grace looked at the photo again. The woman. The child. Gone. She placed a hand on her stomach without thinking. Min noticed. I know that fear, he said. Grace looked at him. I know what it means, he continued, to lose a family. His eyes met hers. And I know what it means when someone tries to take them from you. Grace felt tears in her eyes. She did not try to stop them. I didn't think anyone would understand, she said. Min gave a small nod. I do. Silence came again. But it was not empty. It was shared. Grace took a slow breath. I was alone, she said. Min looked at her. You are not now. The words were simple. But they stayed. Min reached for the photo. He adjusted it slightly on the table. Careful. Respectful. Then he stepped back. Go back to your room, he said. You still need rest. Grace nodded. She turned slowly. But before she left, she looked at him again. Min, she said. He paused. I'm glad you found me. Min did not reply. But his expression softened, just a little. Grace walked back carefully. Her steps were slow. Her body still hurt. But something inside her felt stronger. She was not the only one who had lost something. She was not the only one who had been broken. And for the first time, she felt understood. Without having to explain everything. Without having to fight to be heard. Someone already knew. And somehow, that made it easier to breathe. That made it easier to breathe. Grace held on to that feeling as the days moved forward. She was no longer just resting. She was slowly living again. One afternoon, a young man came into her room. He did not say much. He placed a sketchbook and pencils on the table beside her. Then he left. Grace looked at them. She had not drawn in a long time. Not since everything with Toby began. She reached for the pencil. Her hand was weak, but steady enough. She opened the sketchbook. Blank pages. A quiet start. At first, she did not know what to draw. Then her hand began to move. Simple lines. Soft shapes. Nothing perfect. But it was something. She kept going. Later that day, Min walked in. He stopped when he saw her. Grace did not notice him at first. She was focused. Then she looked up. "You came in quietly," she said. Min stepped closer. He looked at the sketchbook. "You draw," he said. "I used to," Grace replied. Min shook his head slightly. "You still do." Grace looked down at the page. "I'm not as good as before." Min's voice stayed calm. "It is still in your hands." Grace did not answer. But she did not close the book either. That evening, Min returned. He sat across from her while she ate. They did not speak much. But it did not feel strange. It was a different kind of silence. One that did not hurt. After a while, Grace spoke. "Tell me something real," she said. Min looked at her. "Not about work," she added. "About you." Min thought for a moment. Then he said, "I don't like silence." Grace raised an eyebrow. "You sit in silence a lot." "Yes," Min said. "But I don't like it." That made her smile a little. "Why?" Min looked away briefly. "I can't sleep without noise," he said. "A television. Something." Grace nodded slowly. "I talk at night," she said. Min looked back at her. "To who?" Grace placed her hand on her stomach. "To my baby." Min watched her. "What do you say?" Grace smiled softly. "I tell her stories. About Lagos. About food. About sounds." Min listened. "Tell me one," he said. Grace blinked. "Now." Min nodded. Grace took a small breath. Then she began. She spoke about busy streets, loud voices, bright markets. Simple things. But the way she said them made them feel alive. Min did not interrupt. He listened. Time passed without them noticing. When Grace stopped, the room was quiet again. But it felt full. "Thank you," Min said. Grace looked surprised. "For what?" "For telling me something real." Grace closed the sketchbook slowly. Her body still hurt. Her future was still unclear. But something inside her was changing. She was not just surviving anymore. She was healing. Little by little. And she was not doing it alone. And she was not doing it alone. Grace began to believe that. Not fully, but enough to feel it. Days passed. She walked more. She drew more. She spoke more. Min was around, but never too close. He gave space. But he was always there. That mattered. One afternoon, Grace heard a new voice. Sharp. Clear. Not soft like the others. She stepped out of her room slowly. The voices came from down the hall. She did not plan to listen. But she stopped. "She is still here?" the woman asked. Grace stayed still. That voice was not kind. "She is recovering," Min replied. His tone was calm. "A stranger," the woman said. "A pregnant stranger in your home." Grace felt her chest tighten. "She had nowhere to go," Min said. "That is not your problem," the woman replied. Silence. Then the woman spoke again. "This is not safe. People are watching you." Grace's hand pressed lightly against the wall. "You know what they will say," the woman continued. "They will think you are weak." Min did not answer. "Send her away," the woman said. "A hospital. A shelter. Anywhere." Grace's throat felt dry. She had heard enough. She stepped back quietly. Her room suddenly felt small. Tight. Familiar in a bad way. She knew this feeling. Being unwanted. Being a problem. Grace moved quickly. She picked up her things. The sketchbook. Her clothes. Everything she had been given. She packed without thinking too much. If she stayed, she would be pushed out anyway. Better to leave on her own. She walked toward the exit. Each step felt heavy. But she kept going. "Grace." She stopped. Min's voice. Right behind her. She did not turn. "You don't have to explain," she said quickly. "I heard enough." Min stepped closer. "You heard her," he said. "Not me." Grace shook her head. "It's the same thing." "No," Min said. "It is not." Grace turned slowly. Their eyes met. His face was calm. But his hands were tight. "You are not a problem," he said. Grace searched his face. Trying to see if he meant it. "I don't want to be something you have to manage," she said. Min's voice stayed low. "You are not something," he said. "You are a person." Grace's chest rose slowly. The words were simple. But they felt different. Silence stood between them. Not soft this time. Not easy. "Stay," Min said. It was not a command. It was not force. Just one word. Grace looked down at her bags. Then back at him. She was tired of running. Tired of fear. Slowly, she nodded. Okay, she said. She walked past him, back into the house. But something had changed. The ease between them was gone, replaced by distance. Careful steps. Quiet thoughts. Grace placed her bag down in her room. She sat on the bed. Her hand moved to her stomach again. I'm trying, she whispered. Outside, Min stood still for a moment. Then he walked away. The house was quiet again. But this time, the silence carried weight. Grace felt it everywhere. In the room. In the hallway. In herself. Things were not the same anymore. She stopped drawing. The sketchbook stayed closed. Meals were quiet again. Not the soft kind. This one felt careful. Like both of them were thinking too much. 4 days passed. Grace woke up with pain. Not the usual kind. This was stronger. Deeper. She held her stomach. Something is wrong, she whispered. The doctor came quickly. She checked Grace. Her face became serious. We need to act, she said. Grace's heart started racing. What is it? The baby is coming early, the doctor said. We cannot wait. Grace felt cold inside. No, it's too soon. The doctor shook her head. We must do it now. It is safer. Grace sat alone for a moment after the doctor left. The room felt too quiet. Too big. She held her stomach tightly. I don't know how to do this, she said. Her voice broke. I can't do this alone. The door opened. Grace looked up. Min stood there. He had heard her. For a second, no one spoke. Then Grace said it again. I'm scared. Those words felt heavy. Honest. Min walked into the room. He did not rush. He sat beside her. Not too close. But close enough. When my daughter was born, he said slowly, my wife held my hand very tight. Grace listened. I thought she would break it, he added. A small pause. But I did not let go. Grace looked at him. His face was calm. But his eyes held something deeper. I stayed, he said. Grace's eyes filled with tears. I don't have anyone, she said. Min looked at her. You have me, he replied. The words were simple. But they stayed. Grace hesitated. Then slowly she reached out. Her hand touched his. Warm. Real. Min did not pull away. He held her hand firmly. Not too tight. Not too soft. I'm not going anywhere, he said. Grace took a deep breath. Her heart was still fast. But it was not as wild. Not as alone. Time passed quietly. Doctors came in. Machines were prepared. Everything moved around her. But Grace focused on one thing. His hand. Still holding hers. She closed her eyes for a moment. I want my baby safe, she said. Min nodded. She will be, he replied. Grace believed him. Not because she understood everything. Not because she trusted the world. But because right now, he was there. And for the first time since the fall, her fear did not control her. It stayed, but it no longer owned her. She opened her eyes again. I'm ready, she said. Min did not let go. Min did not let go. Grace held his hand as they moved her. Voices spoke around her. Instructions. Steps. Care. She tried to stay calm. Her breathing was not steady, but she tried. I'm here, Min said. Grace nodded slightly. Time moved slowly. Then fast. Then slow again. Pain came in waves. Strong. Sharp. Grace held on. She did not let go of his hand. Not once. Push, the doctor said. Grace cried out. Her body shook. I can't, she said. You can, the doctor replied. Min's grip tightened. You can, he said. Grace closed her eyes. She pushed. Again. And again. And again. Each time harder. Each time taking more from her. But she did not stop. Then, a sound. Small. Loud. Alive. A cry filled the room. Grace froze. Her heart stopped for a second. Then it hit her. My baby. The doctor smiled. She's here. Grace's eyes opened slowly. They placed the baby on her chest. Small. Warm. Moving. Grace looked down. Tears came fast. Amara, she whispered. The name felt right. The baby cried again. Strong. Full of life. Grace laughed through her tears. You're here, she said softly. Her hands held the baby close. Careful. Protective. Min stood a short distance away. He had stepped back, giving space. But his eyes were fixed on them. Grace looked up. Come, she said. Her voice was soft. Min hesitated. Then he walked closer. He looked down at the baby. His face changed. The calm, hard look was gone. Something softer was there now. She is strong, he said. Grace nodded. Yes. For a moment, no one spoke. The room felt full. Not with fear. Not with pain. But with something new. A knock came at the door. One of Min's men stepped in quietly. He moved close to Min and spoke in a low voice. It's done, he said. Min did not ask questions. He already understood. Grace watched him. What is it? She asked. Min looked at her. The man, he said. He has been arrested. Grace went still. Her arms tightened around Amara. It's over, she asked. Yes. Grace closed her eyes. A deep breath left her. Not fear. Not pain. Relief. She looked down at her baby again. Amara, she said softly. You are safe. Min stood beside her. Quiet. Present. Grace looked up at him. Thank you, she said. Min gave a small nod. Nothing more was needed. Grace held her child close. The past was behind her now. Not forgotten, but finished. And in her arms was a new beginning. Grace held on to that truth as the days turned into weeks. Then months. Her life was not the same. It was better. Not perfect, but hers. Grace now lived in her own apartment. Her name was on the lease. No fear. No control. No voice telling her she was nothing. Amara lay in a small bed beside her. Healthy. Strong. Always moving. Always making small sounds that filled the room. Grace smiled often now. More than she had in years. On a table near the window, her sketchbook was open. Not empty anymore. Pages filled with drawings. Faces. Shapes. Ideas. Her work had come back to her. Slowly. But fully. A design company had found her work online. They offered her small jobs. Then bigger ones. Grace said yes. She worked. She earned. She grew. One afternoon, there was a knock on the door. Grace stood up and walked to open it. Min stood outside, holding 2 cups. You came, she said. Min nodded. I was nearby. Grace gave a small smile. You are always nearby. Min did not argue. He stepped inside. Careful. Like always. Like he respected the space. How is she? He asked. Grace looked toward Amara. Loud, she said. And strong. Min looked at the baby. A small smile touched his face. That is good. They sat down. Not far from each other. Not too close. But closer than before. Silence came. But it was not heavy. It was calm. I wanted to show you something, Min said. He placed a small card on the table. Grace picked it up. A gallery, she said. They are looking for artists, Min replied. Grace looked at him. You did this. Min shrugged slightly. I told them about you. Grace's eyes softened. Thank you. Min looked at her. You did the work, he said. Not me. Grace placed the card down. She looked around her home. At her work. At her child. At her life. Everything had changed. She looked back at Min. You helped me stand, she said. Min shook his head. You stood, he replied. Grace smiled. Then slowly, she reached out her hand. Min looked at it. Then at her. He placed his hand in hers. No fear. No pressure. Just choice. I want you to stay, Grace said. Min held her hand. I will, he replied. In the next room, Amara made a small sound. Alive. Growing. Grace listened. Then she looked forward again. She had fallen once. Hard. Painful. But now, she had risen. And this time, she was not falling again. And that brings tonight's story to a close, besties. Until next time, please don't forget to subscribe. We have to hit 1,000 besties just to prove my stepmother wrong. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and let us know where you're tuning in from. Tea time. Grab your tea and stay cozy. Good night.